Well, we are just a few minutes removed from the end of Revolution Pro Wrestling live in Coventry. Dave Bradshaw here with RevPro owner Andy Quildan. Andy, it's been a hell of an unpredictable afternoon here in the West Midlands. We'll talk about that. But first thing I want to talk about is the Coventry crowd and what our plans are here in this part of the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be back in Coventry, as always. And we're coming here several times throughout the year. And, of course, we were at nearby Wolverhampton for our epic encounter. It's just an hour down the road, so I think it's kind of great to be able to start to build territories in areas, and you know, we hope that the people that come to Wolverhampton will overlap to Coventry and vice versa. And as we slowly, I say it all the time, and it's not really a party slogan, so to speak, but it's just we say one fan at a time, because genuinely that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to convince people to check out Revolution Pro Wrestling one fan at a time, and I believe that's exactly what we're doing here in Coventry. It's a great location as well in the kind of middle of the country, and it's a great venue, so much to do around in the city, and we hope to just continue to be able to do more of the same, continue to build, continue to grow, and like I say, just step by step, we will grow this thing, I hope.
Well, we've got a lot of opportunity to win over plenty of fans this summer because it's an intense summer schedule for RevPro. We've been talking about it all day. Obviously, we were here in Coventry today. Next weekend in Barcelona. Tell us your thoughts about that. We're headed to Spain for the second year in a row.
Looking forward to some sunshine. And it was quite scary as well when we were looking through all the dates and what's coming up. It's going to be perhaps one of the busiest times that we've ever had. And again, looking ahead to the end of the year when we're going to Germany and then to Lyon in France for the very first time. But yeah, Barcelona, it's so exciting because for me, I don't think enough can be said about how much Barcelona did for me personally last year. It was so exciting to see the energy from all the young wrestlers, the energy from the fans, how much they appreciated what we're doing here with Revolution Pro Wrestling. And of course, that was where we discovered Cesare for the very first time, you know, and then 1 year later, you look at him now in Revolution Pro Wrestling, having appeared on so many shows, and you know, we've been seeing him grow before our very eyes. So it's exciting because we're going to get a chance to look at a lot of new talent, and we're also going to get a chance to hopefully get a bit more sunshine. So yeah, it's always great. It's always exciting. And I know that everyone's who's going to be on the show is super excited, and everyone's going to want to deliver something that people remember, something that people talk about. This is not something that we're looking at as just another show. This is we're looking to create legacy in Spain, create legacy in Barcelona, and hopefully find some new talents for future shows, because like you said, Dave, we've got a lot coming up.
And one of the things we've got coming up the week after Barcelona, we're back in Sheffield, where we're going to have the semi-finals and the finals of the number one contender tournament for the Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. We had the third and fourth quarterfinals here this afternoon in Coventry, and both of those matches, you've got to say, in the views of many fans, had surprise results.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing about Revolution Pro Wrestling, the depth in talent that we've got, and the fact that anyone can beat anyone on any given night. And like you say, perhaps a couple of upsets today. TK Cooper upsetting Leon Slater, Charles Samuels upsetting JJ Gale, perhaps a pair of wild cards going into Sheffield, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this one shakes out. Of course, we know the winner of that championship tournament, which we will determine on 25th of May in Sheffield, will go on to Revolution Rumble on June 22nd to challenge Michael Oku for that Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship gold. So it's going to be a very, very much a high stakes show when we're live in Network Sheffield, and that's something that we're trying to do as well. We're trying to make sure that every show we do, there's something special on it and something that people can look forward to, and there's always going to be something of consequence, and it doesn't matter what the venue, doesn't matter how big, how small, what part of the country. There's always going to be something of consequence, and I'm sure that anyone who's been checking out your great RevPro recaps that you do after every show will realise just what an exciting time it is to be a part of Revolution Pro Wrestling, and the depth in talent, which is absolutely insane.
Now I know you're keeping your cards close to your chest at the time of recording about what the semi-final brackets are going to be, so I won't push you on that. But I do want to talked about the intensity of the competition on the men's side, but also on the women's side. Let's talk about that briefly as well, because our main event this afternoon in Coventry was Kanji against Emerson Jane. Emerson Jane picking up the win against Kanji, which again I think for a lot of people may have been something of a surprise, given that Kanji's been in exceptional form in 2025. And as the competition intensifies to be the next challenger for Mercedes Monet's Undisputed British Women's Championship, that really does shake things up.
Yeah, I mean, look, Emerson Jane, as I said it in commentary, But Emerson Jane's come in and she's picked Kanji as a target for a reason. And this is something that Kanji's going to have to get more and more used to now. Her name is so much more well known. The term I used was the best kept secret in British wrestling. No more. Because everyone knows who Kanji is now, thanks to that match with Mercedes Moné, all the press going into it, all the praise and plaudits coming out of it, and Emerson Jane looked to make a name off of Kanji's back. Of course, there was an element of controversy at the end of that contest, so I'm not sure it's over between Kanji and Emerson Jane, but like you say, the competition is intensifying. I'm sure Danny Luna will have been watching from afar. Obviously, Cutthroat Collective, Millie McKenzie, Charlie Evans. There's so many great professional wrestlers in our women's division right now. That it's just an exciting time. And I think that as time goes on, it takes time. Everything takes time, you know. And then getting depth in areas takes time. And then when you're focusing very much on one area, then something else may suffer, and so on and so forth. So my job, and something which is running so many shows is going to help and is helping do, is ensure that we're able to keep this depth going and ensure there's this pipeline in every single division and excitement in every single division. And of course, I think the women's division is probably right at the top of the list. And I think that anyone who's seen the growth of the women's division over the past 18 months or so would absolutely say that. Look how many main events we've seen in this year alone. You know, it's crazy and it's great and it's exciting. Emerson Jane, of course, a welcome addition back into Revolution Pro Wrestling, just further adds to that depth.
Now, I'm going to let you go in a second because I know you've got a lot to do still before you leave Coventry this evening. But just briefly, you talked a little bit about the schedule we've got this summer. Incredible things coming up. Barcelona, we talked about Sheffield, the tournament, the number one contender tournament, the women's division. There's the Revolution Rumble coming up June 22nd in York Hall. We've got the British J Cup June 14th, the 13th anniversary coming up on Bank Holiday weekend in August. What are you most excited about?
Getting some rest at the end of it. I love it all. I love it all. I genuinely love it all. And I'm just excited about more people finding out about Revolution Pro Wrestling. I'm excited about watching more good wrestling because that's what we're all about. We're about pro wrestling at its best. And like I say, I love it. I genuinely love it. And I live for this stuff. And just great nights of wrestling action. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to embrace it all, and I can't wait. It's daunting when you think about it and you look at this week we're going to be here, and next week we're going to be there, etc., etc. And there's no real slowdown because those big shows keep coming. You said J Cup, Revolution Rumble, anniversary show. Maybe we'll even throw in a Summer Sizzler. Who knows, right? But so it's kind of daunting when you look at those kind of signposts, so to speak, and you think that, oh, once this one's over, so we finished, we've got high stakes, once that's over, we can take a deep breath. No, we can't, because we're straight back at it, and I wouldn't want it any other way. And I think this is a way that anyone who's been following Revolution Pro Wrestling since 2012 would have kind of envisaged it in terms of, you know, at the time we were running once every couple of months, you know, small venues, whatever. And now it's kind of got to that stage where we're pretty much weekly, you know, and like I say, it's enabled us to focus on depth. It's enabled us to focus on more wrestlers, more divisions, and it's given an opportunity for us to kind of get to parts of the country where we haven't been before, and we look to continue to do that. And again, like I say, like it's a bit of a cop out of an answer, really. I'm excited for everything, but the next thing I'm excited for is 25th of May. I feel like I'm selling to, you know, England, because the next thing I'm looking forward to is Barcelona. You know, and in 6 days' time now, we'll be in Barcelona. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting everyone in Barcelona. And then from there, 25th of May, Network Sheffield, for what promises to be a great night and a historic night of pro wrestling action. And the fun just getting started, really.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to work so you can get home, start packing your bags for Barcelona. Andy Quildan, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thanks very much. I don't really have any luggage because... Ryanair flight, so